All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Yes, Chude Jideonwo is in the house. Author, TV host, filmmaker, investor, media entrepreneur. He's been there. He's done that. Over 25 years from New Dawn, right?
Yes.
Was there anything before New Dawn? So that let's just know.
There were two things before New Dawn.
What was there before New Dawn?
The Sunday show with Livia Jonuma, and there was Inside Out with Agatha.
So Livia Jonuma, if you hear that, a lot of people now, you don't know that name. You don't even know that name.
At least they know DJ Obi, who is his son.
Okay.
So the legacy continues.
Exactly. But as a media practitioner, they don't know that.
They don't know him. He was a legend. He is a legend. He's late, but he was at some point, he was the most influential TV presenter.
Definitely.
Longest running independently produced TV show on AIT and NTA for a long time.
You know, I watched New Dawn growing up, and I saw that time you were part of the production.
Yes.
And it's not like you are, maybe you should be 60 or something.
I started working in New Dawn when I was 16 or 17.
That is, I share you see, because me that about that age, I was sitting back at home, enjoying for me and watching New Dawn, because I mean, that was it. That was television we knew.
Yeah.
There was one-on-one then, quite a number of shows and all that, but you started then, and all of that has defined where you are as a person or as a media practitioner now.
Yes, it has. Without a doubt. You know, I was in, one of the beauties of my career is how, I always say, I'm an old hand, you know, but still, I don't like to use the word relevant, but still responding to the culture today. And the thing that has made that possible is that I have seen many eras go in the media space.
You have?
I have learned under the very best. You know, I have been cooked under the very best. You know, this weekend, the episode I'm releasing on my show is a celebration of the 50 TV icons that inspired me.
Wow.
And along that journey, I've worked with many of them. So it's not just, I was cooked. This is not just...
How important is mentorship in this journey and every other thing, because this is something that we can use as, you know, to talk about life generally. How important is mentorship?
I think mentorship is important for sustainability, but it's not just direct mentorship. It is observational mentorship. So that means that you don't have to meet the person.
Exactly.
You know, you have to just say that person is where I want to be.
And social media has made it easy.
And social media made it so easy. So there's no need to stay in people's DMs, insisting that they must meet with you. No. Observe their life, watch their interviews, read their books, read their articles. People write epistles on their social media captions these days. That is important, because more importantly, it's not to learn what is current today, it's to learn what is always relevant. Wow. You know, so that's what has helped me.
Being an old head, how have you been able to, should I say, vote into this era, this social, because a lot of things, you know, I remember then when we used to talk about how, before the era of AI, how IT would take a lot of jobs. I mean, at one point I'd seen a chef that was fully automated, computerized and all that. Yeah. But then, I thought that as a media practitioner, our job is safe. Now, it's every other person. Social media has made it that if you have a phone, you don't even need a mic. Because there's a mic on the phone. You just put up your camera and do everything. How have you been able to, you know, from that age when you had syndicated network television to see and everybody had to go at a particular time to get information, to this age where everything is out there. But then you've still been there, you've traveled up to this point. How did you, because I tell myself that, this social media era, I'm not used to putting things out. How did you do it?
And it's amazing because my live show coming up on the 27th, which we're going to talk about. Two of the speakers are social media as skit makers and some of the biggest social media influencers, Taoma and Kiki. I know the funny thing that there was a time when I went off all media, all publicity, all everything for 2 years. And that was in that 2-year period or 3 years was when skit making blew up. When I came back, I was confused because, you know, I run a PR company. So one day, I used to receive the alerts. So I saw the amount that was being paid to Macaroni and Brother Shaggy, and I was confused. I'm like, sorry. Is this for like a 1-year campaign? They said no, it's for posts over 1 month. And so just as recently as a few years ago, I was confused by the changes in an industry that I was in. But that's to show you, but I didn't. So I was talking to some young people who interviewed me on radio, and they were saying, you're so current and relevant to Gen Z. And I say, it is not because I wanted to be relevant to Gen Z, it's because I did the work that I was called to do.
I like that, knowing your purpose.
Yes, that's
as
it.
it were.
That's
wonderful. And that is what 27th is all about.
Yes.
Talk to us. What exactly is happening on the 27th?
Yeah. So we're having the biggest talk concert this continent has seen. Yeah. We're taking the With Chude experience. So people are always talking about how people break down in tears, how people have goosebumps on the show, how there's joy on the show, how people, many of the guys say it's therapy. How people are watching. I've seen people say, I just watched your show, I was going to take my life. And I watched these guests talk about wanting to take their life, and I stopped. So that's life-changing experience. We're putting it on a big stage in front of thousands of people.
Okay.
And we're having the biggest possible guests that anybody can find. So I'll be interviewing live on stage, the Chimamanda Adichie.
The Chimamanda, wonderful. With her first book in 10 years.
In 10 years. And this is her first major public event in Nigeria since the book was released.
Yes,
so
I'm looking forward to it, even if it's just because of her.
Yes, there's Funke Akindele. She's coming. She's going to be live there on stage. There is Falz, the bad guy, going to be live on stage. There is Bovi Ugboma, going to be live on stage. And there is Pastor Jerry Eze.
Are they all going to be there? You assembled Avengers.
We assembled Avengers. We assembled Avengers. That's what it is.
You just put Avengers together.
Yes.
So
biggest stage, biggest guests.
Are they all going to be together?
They're going to be one after the other.
One after the other.
Yes.
Wow. So
then after that, we're having a panel that's together.
Okay.
And that has Ebuka Obi-Uchendu, Kiki, Taoma, Hawa Lawal, and Vicky James.
You know what you are doing? This is Marvel and DC. That's what you're doing. Wonderful, wonderful. And where is this happening? How can people attend and be a part of it?
Right. So they can register on event.withchude.com.
Okay.
Event.withchude.com. They can follow me on Instagram at Chude. All the information is always there.
It's always there. All right.
Event is happening 27th of April at the Palms. There's a brand new event center at the Palms that people are going to. It's even just designing this event in that event center, the kind of experience we are creating. I'm so excited about it.
Wonderful. I'm looking
so it's Sunday, April 27th.
You know, as a person, as somebody who does this, you're doing this job. What is that thing?
And as a fan of yours as well, I think you're doing an amazing. Let me say how much of a fan of yours you are. 2 years ago, I told my team members I was doing something abroad. I came back to Nigeria. I've been abroad for like 6 months. I was watching your show one day, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go and be a guest presenter on Wake Up Nigeria for one day. I tell you, I discussed with my team members. They said, stop it. You have so much work to do. That's how much of a fan I am.
Let's end this show. Titi, you didn't tell me this. Stop it. Stop. Close. Roll the montage. It's okay.
So, yeah.
Should they say it again? No, I'm just kidding. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you here. Yeah. And the question I wanted to ask is, that thing, you said is therapy for people. And I've had people, even without you, who have also had that thing that, look, they listened to this interview, they knew how to navigate a particular situation we're going through in their life.
Yes.
Why do you do it? Is it because of something you've experienced? Is it because a number of times, when you've gone through something, and maybe you know the pitfalls, you know how bad it can be. Yeah. And what is that? What is your, I'm looking for the word now, but why do you do it?
There are a number of things that came up to this moment, but this is the moment I decided to do this show. And I shared it. I did Mwabudu interviewed me on my show for my birthday, and I said this to her for the first time. 2017, I was trending on Twitter for 3 days. And you don't trend on Twitter for 3 days for good things.
You definitely. What's his Twitter?
Yes, so 3 days. And I felt so sad. And so I went on YouTube and typed what to do when people hate you. That's what I typed on YouTube. And the interview that came up was an interview with Oprah and Brené Brown. There's a researcher and public speaker called Brené Brown who has written books about courage, shame, and all of that. And this was like a short clip. I don't know whether it was like, I think it was a 45 minutes interview, 15 minutes, I can't remember. But I watched that interview and I was healed. And I said, I want to do a show that one day in Africa, somebody's going to go on YouTube and type a problem in their lives, and my show will give them an answer. That's what inspired the show.
Wow. I've never heard this anywhere, but that was deep. I would have said what it was, but I know, like it's Twitter, there are different, you trended for different reasons, but we thank God that you trended that time, because if you didn't, we wouldn't have all that we have here today. So, well, this is us here wishing you the best, to support you, and just keep on doing what you're doing, keep on impacting, keep on influencing lives, and you're born for this.
Thank you.
I mean, when you started it, I was sitting down watching what you were doing, not knowing that you were behind the scenes and all of that, and look at it today. Well done. Thank you. Well done. All right, if you're not fasting, we have something for you, breakfast before you go on the press conference. Titi has been preparing it.
Yes, I've been smelling it.
Okay. Okay, all right, Titi. We're coming there to join you now. Let's see what you have for us in the kitchen.